Hi, this is Captain Blasto, giving a quick rundown as people seem to asking what I did different to scale up in power so fast. Um, Honestly, the best way I can probably say is when I first started off with my tech, I went and skimmed as much as I could, just focusing just on tanks, since that was the first thing you get when you start the game. And you see, as I skimmed here down, just so I could skim through this, just so I could start again on the next set of my tree, just for my tanks. Um, I tend to focus just on that kind of lineup in the beginning, and anything in between I focus mostly on troops. Hence why, like right now, I working on a drill ground right now. I tend to focus mostly on anything that just went troop related, as in impact in numbers or in power. So this number in trainees is always nice because that gives you more troops you're going to be pumping out per time. Um, haven't gone too much. I do plan to finish up my research enhancement and the others, but I try to go for as many DPS options as I could. The only thing I went further out of that range was going here just so I can just get an extra gold mine and get an extra iron mine, pretty much. I believe. What are these max out to? Oh yeah, and I'm another farmland. So yeah, it was just. I only did it just for that, just for resources though. Mostly I've been focusing after you're done with your garage and maxed out. I just focused on units, and you really can't go wrong. It's fast leveling up along the way, but once you get down to where I'm at right now, it's like 3 days. And oh, now that I got a 23, yeah, I can start putting points into this now and opening up this one. Yes, I can. Awesome. So that's on the way. Uh, Basically, at the meantime, from where I'm currently at, I'm just putting everything I can right now and just burning as much of my valor as I can during, Science Day at least. Uh, this one's been going on for 2 days, so yeah, you can kind of skim along a bit. You don't have to like max everything out to move down this branch either, so you could cheat away and do one and one. I tend to focus always on unit attack boost, armor, because that's a direct effect. These two are direct effects to your actual power for your squad. Same with this one, same with that one. I rarely notice anything go up when I do any of the health or any of their health increases. But if you do see it, then I don't know. Moral is another good one. Oh, not moral. This one. Moral is another good one. That's definitely going to have to go up to 10, just so I could just start doing the same way I did with the top here, I'm assuming. Do 10 here, then I can just put point down here, just to get to this one, and then you're just going to be kind of nice, and then you get the idea where I'm going. But I'm just trying to skim through and focus mostly on things that I know are going to directly affect my overall damage for my squad. And power as well for the actual base itself. I did buy the second tech tower. I also have about, you see right here, 4 building queues. It's the max you can have anyway, so you can't get any more than that. Another thing I did purchase were these 2 headquarter heroes, or survivors. Shirley, though, I have not really bought much for points to raise. Oh, no, I did get a point for her. It's Tyler I haven't. Shirley is a direct increase to your march size to all your squads. so it does add a good amount to it. Each size adds just up to 250, so that's 25. But the higher the march, the bigger that number is gonna go. Same thing with Tyler though, but for her, each time I do anything with my radar task, I get like 5 free chests that has loot. They're not too bad. What else do I go that helps with? I always focus on my drill grounds. I keep all of them lined up, or at least I've been trying my best to. That's pretty much what I end up upgrading. First, I start with headquarters naturally when you're gonna go to the next level. But once that's done and you can start upgrading to that current level, I tend to do my tech center. For me, it's my tank center. I focus on way more than my other ones. Just for the fact that I choose tank and focus as much as I can on it, just for the fact that I have 2 teams that are just all tanks. And the reason for this, or at least it's one solid group of tanks, is when you click here, it'll tell you, like right now, I have 5 heroes the same type, so I get a 20% increase to my HP, attack, and defense. But if I go something like this, see, I have 3 heroes and 2 other 3 heroes of one type and 2 of another, so I only get 10%. So and this is the same thing with this bunch of misfits. Yeah, see, they don't even have anything because they're a hodgepodge of everything, which doesn't really give you anything, really. So you actually lose out when you try to do oddball teams. You always check this to let you know what your team is currently getting. Like right now, they're just barely getting anything. So, yeah. So when I focused on tanks, it took a while before I filled it up with legendaries. But then once I got all the purples down, then I just had them in their own group. So I have 2 teams that are benefiting just from the tank, anything related to tank upgrades for 2 teams. So that's the way I look at it. I'm slowly getting there to where I'll have a chopper and a missile team, but that's still a ways. After upgrading tank setter, then I'll go straight to drill grounds. If I was upgrading to 24, or I just hit 24 and I want to upgrade, then it would be the barracks I would do first, just so I can have access to the newer troops and start promoting before I start doing the grounds, since those are going to just expand just the base numbers. Let's see what else needs to build up. Honestly, you want to keep building and building as many of your Legos as you can. Do not stop. Keep going, at least till you fill your first team. Once you do that, I say you really have
Wanna grab a drink?
options you can go. I mean, you're still going to take forever to upgrade some of these weapons to a certain extent. And
back in my youth, I was
for me, it's been,
Wanna grab a drink?
I'll focus on, like, naturally Kimberly's the number 1 right now. Stetman's right next to her, really. They're pretty much
Wanna grab a drink?
dead neck and neck almost, just in their ability somewhat. So that's why the only reason why I have their guns to 40, but
Wanna grab a drink?
honestly, that's the first thing you want to do, is best you can hoard all your armor upgrades. Like with these heroes,
You are our hope.
I only have one team that had a full 10 as high as I went. But this was originally gear that my first squad originally had before I started upgrading, with Legos. So I never went past 10, and that was one squad's worth of gear that I only leveled. Everything else is going to be like 5 and 0 and 0.
Officer.
So don't worry too much about it. Again, I
Wanna grab a
I
drink?
poured everything into my Legos
Set.
just in
I miss
points.
anything?
Uh,
With me.
Wanna grab a drink?
when doing your heroes gear wise for your front
With
rowers,
me
your
around,
tanks, or your
victory is
shields,
guaranteed.
I always started with the shield at 20 and then the armor at 10. But to be honest, with how Kimberly and Stepman are energy damaged, energy type dealers for their damage, I've changed my mind and I'm gonna be ranking my armor, my Predator radar to 40, just so I can have that energy resistance against Kimberly and Stetman. And probably after that, I would probably use a 100 data chip, just so you can get another about 4% all damage resistance, but that's another 4% you can add on. And armor is just physical, so that's basically, a small few people who rarely use Kimberly unless they have like another squad. If you're
Don't worry,
DPS
I'm
for the
not
back
a
row,
genius, but I never give
rail,
up.
and then advanced chip. I would like, when I was starting off leveling
Wanna grab a drink?
every weapon, I could get it to 20, and then by the time I got to 20 points, I would almost already have another legendary ready, so I'd start saving up for that next Lego, get it to 20, depending if it was a gun or a shield. But again, I changed for tanks, I changed that to 20 instead. Let's see what else. Hospitals, I haven't really done too much about. They're still, I haven't noticed too much. My drone has been interesting with this new mechanic they put in with the data chips. Honestly, there's really not much to say about the drone. Just go here when it says bulk, hit bulk, and then converge it, and then if it says it's an upgrade, you hit the upgrade button, and then voila, it's done for you. You really don't need to think too much about this part. Skills and chipsets a little different, but it's really not that hard. So the way it goes is you have all these different types of chips. They range from, actually, I go to description, index, there we go. So you got these types. You'll notice you'll have your greens, and you get your blues, and then you got 3 different purples for each type of vehicle, meaning tank, chopper, and missile. But they will do the same thing, it's exclusive for that specific, and it has a picture on there to show you, what it's for. Now, and they go up to legendary, and you want to eventually get these. So you see them with the stars underneath. When they have stars, it means that you have to collect a certain amount of the same type of this, and it'll ask you to upgrade it. And when it does that, it will add a star to it. Now, there's 2 ways you can increase the levels for these items or these chips. So, like for example, let's try my shield. At the beginning of battle, your front row tank heroes gain shield equal 3% for 5 per second. Not too much for shield that much. Already got enough. That's a 36, this is a 31. Alright. So I could replace. I have other options. I got a chopper and I got another one, but I could rank it right now if I wanted to, but then I'd leave my second team without it. You can't share them, they're all individual. So, and opening and unlocking does your second number 2 is I think 2,000. Yeah, about 2,000 gems, and then everything so onward is 10. But honestly, no one should be touching number 3 since normally that's the last one normally people get, but I don't know, that's just me. So anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and level this one. Now you got 2 ways you can level up. You see, it's how you have a ascend. That means if I grabbed another one, if I took the one I had from my second group and then put it with this one, I can make it go 1. Adding 1 star adds 1%. Really? That's all it adds? 1? Oh well, that's what do you expect. It's purple anyways. You really want to wait till, this is what I'm talking about, you want to wait till it gets to legendary, because when you want to level up, you got 2 ways. You got these chips here. I don't want to touch it because then it's going to try to add it. You got these chips here, and then you got these individuals that'll show up. I already burned all my blue ones already. Anything below purple, I'll click on it, and then you see the number how there's ones. Sometimes you'll have multiples, like 10 or whatever. You can keep clicking on it over and over and over until it matches 10 per 10. And then you just hit level up, and then boom. It'll tell you, here, I'll give you an example. If like I put this one in, it tells you right here how much it's going to go up in drone HP, attack, and defense. On a level, 31. So just by adding that purple, it would give me 5 levels. So it turned to 36. But I'm not going to burn that though. I'm going to hold on to them since I have all 3 of each. I'm just going to save them because I'm really not in a rush. Now I could use my chips to level them, but I figure those are a little bit more expensive to get a hold of compared to these other things, because the real thing is you really want to get the legendaries. So then that way you can just burn these onto the legendaries, and then from then on star up legendaries with the same legendary that you get. But anyways, I saved the chips because they're a little bit harder to come by compared to everything else. And so I'm just gonna hoard them until I get a legendary, and then I'm just gonna feed it that way since it's bigger. These offer way more points than these will. Like what? So that's just 2 level. Okay, it's not as much compared to that one. But see, if I did all of them, 8, 9, 10, and see, ooh, that's 22 levels. Yep. But I'm not too much of in a rush in the meantime until I get this and see how this chest goes first, because you'll get to get your first choice, and you know I'm going tank. But anyways, I digress. What else? And another thing is go for as many of these statues as you can. The more the better. Just as this, from what I have, this is what it offers me right now. Just in that. And eventually they come through you, especially when we do the capital wars. So you put in work, you get rewarded for it. And the more of these statues you can accumulate, the better your the more your stats can go up too. Aside from building Legos, I can't think of anything else at the moment. This is pretty much what I've used to kind of keep me on my toes on just what I need to work on. Like right now, even though it still says SS, I don't like being at 86 for my hero tier or my hero skill. But hero skills are a pain in the ass. Especially once I'm going to get her to 5-star. I can finish her basic attack off, but
with me, did I miss anything?
I still need to get Williams to at least 20 on his defense just so I can have that full effect for that 10% boost. And it can go up to like what? There's 4 more points. 50. So that's 2%. So it can go up to 45. So this 43 will turn to 45 once I get this maxed out. And then after that, then I'll have to do this one. When I comes
Wanna grab a
to
drink?
your heroes, always start with the right top skill first. That is the most important one. Don't worry about the attack. That ain't nothing. This is what goes off once your drone goes in and dives bomb. These are the skills that go off right after. After that one, you always want to follow it by their sector third one right here. Once you're done with these two, and if you have no other player or other characters to really worry about, then go ahead and start maxing that out. For me,
Success is not the end.
you could tell that's where I went for each
Don't
and every
worry, I'm
one,
here for you.
and you'll see the same way when I'm going with Williams.
I'm not a genius, but
Invaders are destined to
explosion is
And I haven't even
an
touched
art.
these guys yet.
I never.
I will be by your side no matter
And see,
where
I haven't
you
even
lead.
touched my freaking purples.
Great ally and a
And
close
so
battle.
Anyone got
I have a
poison?
lot of
Time to make a
catching up.
Not everyone can be a legend.
I'm not a good father.
So
Wanna grab a drink?
as for that, I mean, that's pretty much it on what I've been focusing on. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've had to pay to win. I've bought some things just to speed some things along. Like I just posted earlier today why, I bought all those chip inventories and drone parts, and it was like I'm already about to to hit 90 already, so, and I'm gonna need more drone parts once I hit that part. What else? What else can? I already talked about tech. I have also kept, like, once I hit to like 22, I just went ahead and just caught up as everything as I could, except for, oh no, I did my things too. Yeah, just pop them right now. Just gonna get that crap out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way. So yeah, I did everything to 22. Even always do your food and warehouses. They give a lot of attack power. If I went by order for attack power, you have your tech towers like second after HQ. But honestly, I never count the HQ upgrade because you just start a new level once it's upgraded. So you're technically starting right off from there. So tech gives the first most. You can always tell what gives the most, and this is how I found out, is by the experience gain. The more gain, that means that's the more power you are receiving for the total power right here, for your power, your whole power for your base. Next is, honestly, this is the biggest one, is the wall. The wall gives you the most. As you can see, it's 66, and it gives you, look at that power, that's another 300 right there. So if you just look on which ones that have the most experience, those are the ones that are going to lead you to faster power gains, because you're knocking the big ones out first. So again, tech tower, the wall, but naturally those two take real long. I think tank center, it goes around like third because it's only 41. Believe it or not, your tavern and Alliance Center, no, it's not Alliance Center, it's factory. Yeah, factory gives a good amount, and so does the tavern. Shortly after that, I normally do the iron and food warehouses because, again, they offer a pretty good amount. Normally the last ones, honestly, that I barely touch is like the hospitals. Some of the tracks I fall behind, but I always keep up with my first squad, but the other ones I kind of fall behind. Kind of fell behind the sprues, somewhat a level or two on some of them. But everything else, I just try to keep up as much as I can. Is that a freaking dig? Is it already gone? Oh, okay, no, it's not. It's gonna be. Alright, well, that's gonna delay me because now I don't want to go off screen and miss it. Oh, it's starting to line up good. We're starting to look like professionals. Alright. Let's see, what else? I always mention, always use War Fever when you get a chance to. That's 1%. And honestly, especially on Marshall, when everyone's throwing out all their squads to fill in for rallies, you can always just click it, like, as long as they're under 10, they won't have their alarm going off for just being scouted. And then boom, right there, War Fever for 15 minutes. I can't use shields, but my damage is boosted by 1%. And since I'm just doing PvE stuff, it really don't matter that I need a shield. The only time you worry really about War Fever is when we're on Ash Day, on Buster Day, dealing with invasions. Then you really gotta pick and choose your fights because you gotta survive for 15 minutes with that buff on, and you can't do nothing except run, or depending your situation on who you're up against. If you're outmatched, then you can only just run. Ain't that lovely? Yeah, no shame in the game. And alright, more. So anyways, damn it, I got sidetracked. More power again, used for rallies. Again, be careful when using it on Buster Day. Honestly, I can't think of anything else. I just try to go after things that you know are gonna give you an increase on things. There we go. Avatar. Yeah, Avatar Friend. I mean, you can use that, but like you gotta keep an eye on certain events. Set yourself some goals on what you think you can achieve. I went for this one because it gave me. I focus always on power, as much as I can get. But if I get like more HP, I really don't see it too great. But I mean, I understand it because the worse some of these DPSers get, the more health you're gonna need to try to survive in, aside from armor and whatnot. And I really wish I could get some of the other ones. Not that one. They all give HP though. That's what sucks. Yeah, I don't have to have it on though. But anyways, yeah, just try to get as much stuff as you can. That it all adds up slowly. Keep up with your daily tasks every day. Even this I kept up with, and sometimes you would get rewards that normally don't get because you pretty much finished everything. But I fall behind, so now I can't get those no more until I catch up. Honestly, that's really about it. That's what I've really been keeping up with. Just keep on leveling, max out their levels, get the 5 stars as fast as you can. For me, I'm just OCD about leaving. Like, I could have gotten maybe a star, maybe 2 or 2 corners of the star, if I didn't worry about Williams being like 3 corners of the star done. but I need him to have that max tier, because that really is a game changer for them. That really helps, and it's very important once you have that. If they don't have that, then you start noticing how they get off real fast when they don't have it. But my next step is to get them to 5. Mason is going to be there.
Commander, you are our hope.
She shortly follows, but
I
whenever
will
we
be
have
by
Monica
your
Day,
side
she
no
just
matter where you
she
go.
levels herself. I really don't need to spend these purples for her. Like another Monica Day, man, practically gives you enough to.
Anyone got boys?
Yeah. And again, I just went
Anyone got
tank for
boys?
my second squad, and then kind of had a hodgepodge whatever I had left to make some kind of group. I just recently added these guys, even though they're barely a star to me. That's nothing, but it is what it is. Alrighty, guys. That's all I can come out the top of my head right now on what else to explain. Other than that, I hope some of this was something y'all needed to learn or know. Have any questions, always hit me up. Take care.